So hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 12 of our season 2 here on F1 Manager 24, and if you think I'm sounding a little bit more chirpy, if you didn't watch the last episode, go back and watch it because you will find out why I am a little bit more chirpy. Because ladies and gentlemen, in Austria, in Spielberg, we got our first single points of the season thanks to Enzo Fittipaldi finishing in P10 ahead of his teammate Dennis Hauger in P11, Zhou Guanyu in P12, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri made it a McLaren 1-2. Were we bothered? Absolutely not. Max Verstappen finishing P3, just in case you're watching Max Verstappen's progress this season. And that single point moved us up to P9 in the constructors standings. McLaren are on 442 and Red Bull are on 322. Even I can do the maths. It's 120 points in favour of McLaren. Look at that, eh? Now then, driver standings wise, Lando Norris is leading from Max Verstappen, Piastri in P3 and Charles Leclerc in P4. Checo Perez is in P11, and it must be said Enzo Fittipaldi in P15 now after scoring that point. Hülkenberg hasn't scored a point, neither has Tsunoda yet this season, so those two more experienced drivers are being outperformed by our young Brazilian. Fantastic indeed. Now just to bring you up to date on what's happening in car part developments, rear wing, we have got a design going on for this season, underfloor for next season, research going on. We're going to research the pants off a next season's car to make sure that when we get there we're a very, very competitive car indeed. And I think we'll have some different drivers next year, it must be said. You can see on the right hand side we're not the best car at this moment in time, but we head to Silverstone. It's my own Grand Prix, it's Lotus's own Grand Prix, and it's a very cloudy weekend, but doesn't look like we're going to have any rain, which is good. 52 laps around here, first Grand Prix in 1950. The car attributes: top speed, very important, we're not very good at that. Low speed, very important, we're not very good at that. High speed, very important, we're not so bad at that. Expected strategy is normally a two-stop. You can try the one, of course, as well. But ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing else to bring you up to date with, so I'm going to get through practice and I'll see you in qualifying for the British Grand Prix. Well, it's got to be said, the second flying laps are not going overly well because Enzo Fittipaldi's been sat behind this Red Bull, this RB, sorry. I think it's Yuki Tsunoda, I might be wrong, it could be Hülkenberg, but either way it's meant that Fittipaldi's not managed to improve. Hauger on the other hand is still going, he's yellow through the first and second sectors. Perez is probably moaning that he's holding him up, but Hauger comes across the line. Can he improve and beat his teammate in that final sector? He can't. Disappointing. What's also quite worrying, 3 seconds Fittipaldi is behind Lando Norris's time. How concerning is that, ladies and gentlemen? As we just fast forward on, let's have a little look. 12th and 14th respectively. Q3 results, it's Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen. Red Bull front row lockout at Silverstone. Piastri and Norris. Norris being the highest British driver. Gasly in P6. Where is Lewis Hamilton? Oh, Lewis Hamilton obviously is not in it. But yeah, so decent for Lando Norris, but Sainz on pole. Let's have a look at the strategy. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, what we did do was save 2 sets. We've actually got 3 sets of soft compound tyres. So the 2-stop definitely seems the way to go. Apparently it's 10 seconds quicker than the 1-stop. So it's going to be soft, medium, soft for both drivers. P12, P14. Let's see if we can get some more points.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. There's a lot of talk about that man, Nico Hülkenberg.
15th is not the grid position they would have liked, but they'll be focused on a points finish.
This should certainly be a good one, folks. Hold on tight. It's the British Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go. Sainz is on the soft. Sainz on the softs. Verstappen is on the mediums, and Sainz got a belting start, as did Piastri. Is there any damage at turn 1? Piastri manages to get up into P2. Fittipaldi looks like he's lost a position early doors. He's side by side with Checo Perez, but manages to get that place back. As we can see, riding on board with the young Brazilian driver, he will have the outside line. coming around here, but look at that. That kicks Sauber's round wide. Is that going to cause problems? Fittipaldi darting left and right. He got a lovely run. Perez got held up, and it must be said Fittipaldi managed to do it. Look at Hauger, by the way, making the move on Checo Perez as well. Great work from him. And both Lotuses, P12 and P13 now, although Perez once again comes back at Hauger. It's all happening here on the first lap at Silverstone, and Perez just sits in behind Fittipaldi now. So decent start. It must be said Porsche on the hard got a very decent start indeed. Let's have a look what he's doing. He's just keeping him behind Yuki Tsunoda now, but Carlos Sainz leads from Oscar Piastri. Leclerc in 5th, Fittipaldi 12th. Perez and Hauger definitely going at it early doors here. DRS already proving crucial as Hauger manages to get up into P13, and unfortunately just blocked off Yuki Tsunoda. But then as he came up to the final chicane, Dennis Hauger was up into P13. Meanwhile, you can see Fittipaldi is past Teo Pourchaire, who's going to be somewhat of a bottleneck on those hard compound tyres. But Fittipaldi now looking to latch onto the back of Lance Stroll. Tsunoda in front has not got the pace. Perez has overtaken Hauger again, but Fittipaldi will get the DRS, and he's now just both getting the tyres back in check. Hauger has just about got DRS, but my word, not by a lot. Look at Liam Lawson, by the way, down in P17 at this moment in time. But Fittipaldi doing everything he can to hold on to Stroll, but he's got his work cut out. Hauger is having a difficult British Grand Prix so far, because here is Nico Hülkenberg. As you can see, DRS wide open. Didn't feel the need to fight that, did Dennis Hauger, and at the moment he now drops back down into P15, and he's got a Ferrari behind him. It's looking very, very ominous at this moment for Hauger. It must be said, hopefully he can now stick in the DRS of Hülkenberg. Meanwhile, Fittipaldi right in the fight for points again. You can see Stroll and Tsunoda in front of him. Tsunoda's burning his tyres up, it must be said. But Fittipaldi looking after his okay at the moment. Verstappen now leads from Piastri. Sainz has dropped to P4. Dennis Hauger is having a tough British Grand Prix. You can see him getting past Zhou Guanyu here, but as you can see on the left-hand side, that's for P16. Lawson's got in front of him, as has Nico Hülkenberg. Now, as you join us back, we've got a couple of interesting bits to update you on, because Checo Perez is really struggling at this moment with a mechanical fault. Yuki Tsunoda's chasing after Fittipaldi, but Fittipaldi so far has been holding him up, but Yuki Tsunoda tries the move, can't get it done, and Fittipaldi does very, very well there. And what we are going to set to Fittipaldi now, we reckon we can burn away from this group with Fittipaldi, so we're going to push him on for a couple of laps and try and just get away from this pack, as Tsunoda is leading it, but his tyres are dying. Hauger looks like he's driving in a different formula at this moment, because Daniel Ricciardo's now got him. This is for P17, I think this is. And Daniel Ricciardo is past Hauger. He's having a torrid time at this moment. And you wouldn't have guessed that at the start of the season. Hauger was the more promising driver, but he's done very, very well. But now Fittipaldi's definitely leading the charge. But Yuki Tsunoda is right on the back of him. Now, these two at the moment are sharing a little bit of DRS, and it's not harming them too much. They're actually sharing it, and it's pulling them away from Porsche, Perez and the rest of them. This could be crucial for P10, but the focus is on Fittipaldi today. There's been a big crash. Let's have a little look at this. It's Pierre Gasly who's, well, at the moment of recording this, it's the Las Vegas Grand Prix tomorrow. He had a stunning qualifying, but then he's just crashed out. It's a lot of swearing going off, but it sounded like there was a bigger crash, which catapulted a couple of cars out. Let's have a little look. The Aston Martin garage, nicely attired, of course, but that's promoted Fittipaldi up to P8 at this moment. So Fittipaldi loving life at the moment. We've actually just told Fittipaldi, if you're fighting Yuki Tsunoda, don't worry about him passing you too much, because at the moment you can share DRS and pull away from Porsche and Hülkenberg, and at the moment that is who you are fighting. Pierre Gasly's all the way down in P18 now. He's obviously got a bit of damage there. It might be the underflow. Hauger's now promoted to P15. 11 laps gone. Piastri leads from Leclerc, although Leclerc is fighting this hard as we now ride on board with the Monegasque driver. Can he get through here? He can't. He doesn't stick his nose up the inside into Copse. Norris in P3, Verstappen in P4, but Fittipaldi P8. Right, Hauger is starting to pull it back a little bit. You can see Perez there very much suffering with this mechanical problem, but Hauger's got past him. He forced him a little bit wide as well there, did Hauger. So Hauger now up into P13 now. Fittipaldi, we are thinking about pitting very, very shortly. 22 seconds for a pit stop round here. He would come out in clean air. We are monitoring the situation. It's going to be very close for Fittipaldi coming in. Now, Tsunoda has pit on lap 15. We're coming in the lap after. Now, let's have a little look. Tsunoda, does he get a decent pit stop? Perez is in as well. He's onto medium tyres, whereas Fittipaldi is going to be on the softs. It's a decent stop from the team. Now, Fittipaldi's giving it the beans on this final lap. We're just going to turn him to standard because we want him to get to the end of the lap and not kill him completely. But he now comes out in clean air as he got the undercut. Into the pits comes Fittipaldi. Into the pits comes Sainz. Now, Tsunoda 52. I reckon we might just get out in front of that driver. Hülkenberg carries on. He's on 39% tyres. Hauger is going to be coming in on this next lap. But into the pits comes Fittipaldi. We reckon this might work nicely for him. He's onto the softs. Let's see what he can do here. Is it a decent stop? It looks like he certainly is. He didn't get held either, did Fittipaldi. So as he goes trundling out, where is Yuki Tsunoda? Just coming around the final corner. Fittipaldi coming out. Is he going to be in front? I think he's going to be well in front at this moment. Fittipaldi is out onto a fresh set of soft compound tyre, and he can now push on and get away from Yuki Tsunoda. Hauger in this lap. And into the pits comes Hauger. There's a couple of other cars pitting, Bottas and Hülkenberg amongst them. Stroll looks like he's got some sort of penalty, which is quite interesting. We're going to keep an eye on Lance Stroll during this pit stop as well. Fittipaldi pushing on at the moment. He's gapping Tsunoda beautifully. Let's have a look. Stroll's got a 5-second penalty, so he's having to serve that. Hauger, on the other hand, flawless pit stop once again from the team. 2.7 seconds for Hauger. Fittipaldi will be loving life now. He's got Ricciardo in front of him, Porsche, Russell. There's a few cars yet to pit, and Fittipaldi is pushing on at this moment in time. There's a car behind him, and that is Tsunoda, but he can't get him at the moment. Meanwhile, Hauger's come out in P18 behind Logan Sargent. Fittipaldi has made an error, and unfortunately it's cost him because Yuki Tsunoda's now got in front of him. We didn't even get a replay of it. We just got a sudden switch of positions, and that was it. Job done. So Fittipaldi now down to P10 with a flying kick Sauber behind him, I should say. And Albon is all very looking racy as well against Hauger. Let's have a little look at this. It's not been our day so far. But Alexander Albon, DRS wide open. It wasn't even a contest between Albon and Hauger there. Albon on the soft compound tyre, of course, and there's still cars pitting in front. Fittipaldi now 2.1 seconds. My word. Last lap, 3 seconds difference between Fittipaldi and Tsunoda. Whether he's had an off, I'm not sure, but Fittipaldi now got a lot of work to do. And Porsche has now got Fittipaldi as well. Let's have a little look at this. DRS wide open, and nothing he could do. Fittipaldi, Porsche manages to get down the inside. Fair play to him. But we are now just going to enter a little bit of tyre saving mode with Fittipaldi because we want to make sure that these mediums at the end, we can extend this stint a little bit, and that should work well for us. So Fittipaldi P11, we're not too concerned about that. Ocon is still yet to pit, and he's fighting tooth and nail with Yuki Tsunoda, and he actually goes through him on the way to the pit lane. Lovely work that. Hauger on the other hand now, once again, tyre saving in this middle stint. We want to be very, very strong towards the end. Norris is yet to pit. Leclerc is currently in the lead and net lead of the Grand Prix as well with Piastri. I wonder if Norris is trying the one stop. We've got a crash on circuit, and it's Esteban Ocon riding down in P20. We've just seen him pit. Maybe he didn't get the tyres warm enough, but then he just ran into the Haas. Not good at all from Esteban Ocon. Very disappointing for him. He's probably going to have to come in for a change of wing. I'm guessing he got some damage, although that car isn't looking too bad at the minute. Meanwhile, Fittipaldi's conserving fuel and conserving tyres as well. Hauger is also going to be told to start conserving fuel as well and conserving tyres. This is going to stand us in good stead toward the end of this Grand Prix. So we're just making sure at this moment we can see Liam Lawson closing up behind, which is something we are also aware of. But lap 23, Norris is still yet to pit. Hauger still making moves in the lower midfield at the minute. He's just managed to get past Checo Perez, who we know is struggling a little bit with that engine at this moment in time. But Hauger getting the job done. Now back up to P16, sorry, at this moment in time. Fittipaldi, we are managing at the moment, but we're also conscious that we can't lose DRS on these guys in front, which we just have done. We'll push on to get it back. We've got some pit stops happening once again, and we're just keeping an eye. Lando Norris has finally pit, so Lando Norris onto a set of soft compound tyres. Does he reckon he can get them to the end? Yuki Tsunoda, is he going to put a set of soft compound tyres on? we've not managed to make them last that well during this Grand Prix. It looks to be another set of medium compound tyres. So Tsunoda into the pits for the mediums. It's a long stop. This could prove crucial in this Grand Prix. It's a terrible stop. Fittipaldi will be in this lap. Fittipaldi is in to the pits. We're just going to also watch this little replay as well because Hauger has managed to get Yuki Tsunoda. It's fantastic work from him, and this is going to help his teammate. Remember, this is once again battle for points for Fittipaldi. Have the Alpine pit crew just cost Yuki Tsunoda a chance of points today? Here we go, Fittipaldi. This could be one of the most important pit stops of the season so far. Hauger at the moment is making these medium tyres last beautifully, so we're going to leave him out. Not a problem at all. But into the pits comes Fittipaldi for the mediums. Is it a decent stop? It certainly is. It's a 2.5 second stop. That is very, very decent indeed. Now, Zhou Guanyu is in to the pits. He's having a problem as well. Albon's into the pits. Where is Fittipaldi going to come out here? Yuki Tsunoda's coming down the start finish straight. Fittipaldi comes out. We've just seen a car go past. That looks like Lance Stroll. Is that Yuki Tsunoda? So even with that bad stop, Yuki Tsunoda is still on the back of Fittipaldi, but he has got lesser tyres now, so we can now focus on this. Fittipaldi can bring these tyres in. I reckon we'll get this towards the end. It could be another day for points for Lotus at the minute. Hauger is running these tyres long, and then we'll go to softs at the end. Oh, it's all happening here in Silverstone. Fittipaldi and Tsunoda. Remember, this is the battle for points, so it's so crucial. And Fittipaldi made a lovely job of that there. Into towards the final chicane. Beautiful work. Fittipaldi enjoyed it. Now, what we are conscious of is a few things. We've got to save the tyres, which is an important point. Tsunoda's burning through his tyres once again here with, what, 16 laps to go. He might not be in the nicest position towards the end. Fittipaldi's going to be told to defend this very, very strongly as well, because he's just looking after, he's trying to get his fuel back in check. We probably should do towards the end. Hauger can run a little bit longer on these mediums. He's making a nice job of it at this moment in time, is Fittipaldi. We're very, very happy in the situation he's in. We've got a few more cars pitting. We'll come back when all the front runners have pit. Lando Norris is looking like he can make these softs go to the end. Hauger will be pitting shortly. This battle is hotting up because Fittipaldi, lovely move down the inside. This car's in front of him and we're yet to pit. Ricciardo's one that has. Will Fittipaldi go for a move here? Lance Stroll is in front on 39% hard compound tyres, and that is very, very good indeed from the young Brazilian driver, because he shoved him out wide and now he should get DRS on Lance Stroll. That is fantastic work from Fittipaldi. We're just going to see Hauger coming into the pits, but I'm conscious I want to get back for this next DRS straight. Let's have a little look at what happens here, because Fittipaldi, great work just holding Yuki Tsunoda up a little bit. Did he get DRS? He certainly did, and now he's attacking Lance Stroll. Hauger's into the pit. It's a decent pit stop, but it's all eyes on Enzo Fittipaldi, because Fittipaldi's the man now who's got our best chance of getting some points today. Lance Stroll's got to pit again. Tsunoda, Lawson might come with a strong run towards the end. Remember, Tsunoda's tyres should drop off just before ours do. Now, will he go for a move here? Fittipaldi, this might not be the wisest place to go for a move. He chooses not to at this moment in time. That's just held him up a little bit. Hauger's now out in P17, 9 seconds behind Ricciardo, but it's all eyes on what Fittipaldi can do here, because as he goes through Maggots and Beckett's, he's going to now be having a look at the back of Lance Stroll, and he's going to get a helping of DRS. This will aid him. Will he be able to make a move here on Lance Stroll? He pulls to the inside. Stroll looks to defend. Tsunoda can't quite get through either. It is all very nip and tuck here between these guys, and he doesn't want to get held up behind Lance Stroll for too much longer, because there is a Ferrari in the distance, and that Ferrari could be crucial towards the end of this Grand Prix of us scoring points. And Fittipaldi just about hanging on here with Lance Stroll. Will he be able to make this move into turn one? He certainly will, and what he has done is put a car between himself and Yuki Tsunoda. Fantastic work from Enzo Fittipaldi. Meanwhile, Hauger's just going to be told to attack and get these tyres warmed up. And this might be good for Fittipaldi, because if this Aston Martin stays out much longer, it might just hold up Tsunoda. It might just hold up Liam Lawson. And with the help of DRS as well, Fittipaldi might be glad to have this car behind, unless Lance Stroll goes for a move, which he doesn't. Beautiful work from Fittipaldi. Lap 40. Norris is now leading by 6 seconds from his teammate with 12 laps to go. Leclerc in P3. Verstappen is in P4. Then comes Sainz, Bottas, Russell. Fittipaldi in P8. Stroll in P9. And Tsunoda P10. Crucial moment, Yuki Tsunoda has got really stuck behind Lance Stroll, and while all this is happening, Fittipaldi is running away. He knows he's got Liam Lawson coming, but then again, this might help him again. We are battling Yuki Tsunoda today, and thanks to Lance Stroll's made it so awkward for him, and he's still continuing to make it awkward for him. As we can see, Lance Stroll is not giving this up whatsoever. As he comes around this left-hander, he's still going to be in front of the Alpine of Yuki Tsunoda. He's losing time hand over fist. Here is Yuki Tsunoda. He's going to get DRS. You'd expect him to get around this time, but Fittipaldi has pushed on, and to be fair, if Liam Lawson catches him, that might not be the worst thing in the world. Hauger is now just going to start looking after his tyres a little bit. He's 7 seconds behind Albon, but doing a decent job. He's going to get the sponsor bonus, which is also important, but Fittipaldi P8, he's going to be up against Lawson soon. Sadly, we didn't get a replay, but Liam Lawson got up towards Fittipaldi and made it count because he got past him with ease. We expected that, but now we are fighting Porsche and Tsunoda. Tsunoda's tyres are struggling. Porsche is on the better tyres at the minute. Can he close down Fittipaldi? We are certainly hoping not. It is nail-biting stuff here at Silverstone because I am watching every lap go by and I am seeing Théo Pourchaire pulling in Enzo Fittipaldi. We're having to try and be aggressive where we can. We've basically got the fuel back in check. Hauger is doing a decent job. P17, the job is done with Hauger today. We've not seen too much of him. He's running at the back end of the grid, but it's all eyes on Fittipaldi. What can he do here? Can he keep Pourchaire at bay? We need these guys behind to start fighting. We needed these guys behind to start fighting, and they're certainly doing that. Pourchaire and Tsunoda going at it. It's all been happening. There was a change of position, and then a 4-second gap appeared to Fittipaldi, who is now just trying to manage everything to make sure that he brings this car home. He's one of the only cars who have not been lapped yet. Enzo Fittipaldi, could he be on to score more points for this team today? Final lap of the Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri is cruising around Silverstone. He's got this one wrapped up. It's all eyes on Enzo Fittipaldi, who now has been lapped. So he's on the final lap as well. And he's got behind him Théo Pourchaire, who's been pushing on. If these guys hadn't squabbled, we possibly wouldn't have got the win today. We're having to negotiate some traffic as well. That Toyota has just about got out of the way. Fittipaldi is pushing on right to the very end here to get some more points for this team. We can see Piastri in front as he comes around the final corner. Piastri will win in Silverstone, but Enzo Fittipaldi will come round the final corner, and it's more points for Team Lotus, courtesy of Enzo Fittipaldi. What a race once again. Hauger making an overtake as well, just to show off on the final lap. Let's have a look as he deploys ERS and he gets that done into P16. Fantastic from Hauger as well. Is he going to get the position though? He's forced a little bit wide. It's going to be a drag race to the end, and it is going to be P17 for Hauger. Fair enough, didn't risk the car, but more points for Lotus.
The man from down under, Oscar Piastri, heads up to our podium.
That sees them double their win tally for this season. They'll be delighted with that.
We're getting used to seeing a very upset Max Verstappen on the right-hand side. Piastri delighted with his second win of the season. Norris enjoying it as well. It's a front row lockout for McLaren. P1 and P2. Fastest lap as well for Lando Norris. Verstappen comes in P3. Leclerc P4. Sainz in P5. Then comes Bottas, Russell, Lawson, 8 positions gained. Good recovery drive from Liam Lawson. Enzo Fittipaldi, P9 again. More points for the team. Théo Pourchaire in P10. Hulkenberg P11. Hauger in P17. We did have one DNF. Pierre Gasly, unfortunately. Driver standings wise, Lando Norris on 260 from Piastri on 226. Verstappen in P3. We go all the way down, but Fittipaldi gaining more points again. He's now up to P14 in the driver standings. Kicks Sauber, I believe, score their first point of the season. Hauger yet to score a point. Constructor standings wise, McLaren on 486. They are a decent total. I think it's 139. Let me know if I got that wrong down in the comments. From Red Bull, Ferrari in P3 and Aston Martin in P4. We are now up to 8th in the constructor standings. I think P5 is what they wanted. We aren't going to get P5. Will we get sacked at the end of the season? Let me know what you think down in the comments. But ladies and gentlemen, it's slow progression, but we've scored points in consecutive races now. We go to Hungary next, where we're hungry for more.